Right, let's get back to client series. And today we're going to chat with Alex. And I just want you to pretty much introduce yourself. Where the fuck have you come from? Who is Bobek? And what are your future plans? So, first of all, what the hell are you doing? You know, how did you come about doing what you're doing? And just give a bit of a backstory. Is why are you literally invested yourself in getting stronger, getting fitter, just everything that this life kind of entails into it? Because a lot of people, they live their lives and never give two damns about improving their physical abilities. They just want more money, more parties, more this, more that. Some want to have some kind of health, but they kind of link health to giving up on eating, drinking, and whatever. Uh, so how does that goes with with you? Like, where did you come from, and why have you ended up doing what you're doing now?
Bobek is my master, bro. And if I tell you, he won't be happy. Do you know what I mean? Listen, man, all jokes aside, I've been living in the UK for most of my life now. I'm originally from Romania. I've been brought up there partly. And once I came here, it was really hard because I couldn't speak the language. I felt like an alien, I felt alienated because I just didn't feel at home, and I didn't feel in my own environment. And I suppose because of that, I had to go for a lot of bullying. I went for a lot of bullying. I got bullied a lot for being an outsider, for not being from around here, and that made me really hungry. It put a lot of hatred in me. But hey, I used that hatred in a good way, and I put it into sport. I started off with rugby. Um, Played rugby to a good level, played for my local team, for my school, and then I've actually got invited to compete in for the Oxfordshire County Council, so play at a decent level. I then later on found out I've been scouted by the London Wasps, and I just never carried on with it because I just didn't feel like rugby was for me. After rugby, I went on to do a lot of fighting. I did a lot of fighting in terms of boxing. I did a lot of kickboxing. I did a lot of karate. K1, as known in Romania, and then I finished with a lot of cage fighting and MMA. And you know what? It was never about being fit and healthy. It was about finding my weak points. I wanted challenges. I wanted to recognize challenges, and I wanted to see what my challenge is, what the challenge is, and how can I improve myself, find those weaknesses, work on them. Whether it was in fighting, for example, I wasn't fast enough. Right, do more sprints. I want to sprint. I want to be faster. Whether it was American football, right? I need to improve my footwork, do a lot more footwork drills. I always wanted to improve myself, and I didn't just want to be a fighter. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be like an all-round athlete. I wanted to be fast. I wanted to be fit. I wanted to be strong. So I think that's why I kind of went through different sports. But it's weird because I never really aspired to be a strong man or nothing like that. I was naturally gifted. I was quite strong naturally, but I never really put it to good use. I never really wanted to be a strong man. I mean, I watched the guys on telly. That was a thing. It was always shown back home on TV. Around Christmas time. And to be fair, we used to have a lot of Olympic shows. Olympic lifting, weightlifting, powerlifting, all that sort of stuff. Strongman always shown on telly, but I never saw myself doing it. I don't know why. I'm not like all the other strongmen. Oh yeah, I always wanted to be a strongman. It wasn't me. And then I met a lad from Scotland, and well, he said, "Come, why don't you try this? Give this a go." And the first thing I tried was a log, and I just don't know. I just fell in love with it. I thought, wow, I'm completely new to this. I love this. I just got hooked, and I signed up to a first competition, and I suppose the rest of it is history, and I'm here now, man. But it all started from being bullied, and I always wanted to kind of be better and prove myself to those people that I am something. I'm not just, an outsider or anything like that. I wanted to be something. And I suppose this leads me on to my next point that, a lot of people are doing sports because, they're doing it for fun, For in my eyes, I want to do it because life is shit. Let's be honest. It's short and life is shit. So when I go, bro, I want to be remembered for something, you know. And when people think of my name, I want them to think of strength. I want people to remember me for something, you know. I don't want to just go and just be another person or another sheep, you know, another member of society. I want to be remembered for something. I want people to think of me and know that, yes, man, he was so and so. He did this and that. He, you know, was a great person, great athlete. You know, that's me, man.
Can you put some timestamps on that? So, what age did you move over to UK? What age did you start, and how long did you do rugby? What age and how long did you went into like
So
kind of stuff?
I came to the UK when I was about 9, 10. You
So,
know,
how old are you now? How heavy are you?
I am now 57 years old. I feel like I'm 57 years old sometimes. I'm 24 years old, and I weigh about 130 kilograms.
And your height?
178 centimeters.
So that's like compact strongman.
Yeah, it's like nearly like Hicksy, but Hicksy's like double the size of me.
Yeah. So how long did you spend doing rugby and stuff?
You know, bro, at some point I was doing rugby and boxing at the same time because I had so much time on my hands because I was going to school, and then because I didn't really have a lot of friends in the beginning, I had to fill my days off and my time off with things, you know. So I was usually doing rugby on Wednesdays and Sundays, and then I was doing fighting, whether it was boxing or kickboxing, you know, for those days. So for instance, I was doing boxing Mondays and Thursdays, I think, and then I was doing kickboxing on Tuesdays and Fridays. So I always wanted to do something, you know. And
how much do you weigh then?
man, so when I was doing rugby, I'd probably like to say I was about maybe 85 kilos. But then when I went properly into my fighting, I was fighting at 78 kilograms.
Yeah.
But the lowest I've been when I was fighting was about 70 kilos. I was 70 kilos at my lightest.
So half of it, what you're now.
Yeah. And I look at some photos now, and I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Who is that guy?
So when did you first lifted some kind of weight? Was it while doing rugby or?
So the first time I lifted the weight was probably when I was about 15. I went into the gym, and in the UK you have to be 16 to go to the gym. But I went into the gym and I lied to them because, you know, at 14 I had a full-on beard. You know, typical Romanian genetics, hairy as fuck. Had a beard, and I went into the gym and I said to the guys, "Oh, you know, I'm 16. I wanna sign up." Blah 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 blah. But you know, I was going to the gym because I thought it was cool, and I thought girls would like me if I go to the gym. You know, so I'd go to the gym, I'd lift some weights, and I think that's where I found out I was actually pretty strong. You know, so like, you know, like 15, I was, you know, lifting, you know, decent enough weights, and yeah, but I was just going there, do a bit of training, take some photos, post them on Facebook, and then go home because I thought it was cool, you know.
So
but
before
if I was to say, like,
before you got to gym, did you do anything like push-ups, pull-ups, things like that?
Not so much, bro. Because in Romania, when we was growing out, you know, was growing up, we was out all day. You know, we were running all day, so I was always fit. You know, running, climbing, you know, going on hikes, climbing trees, doing. So I suppose I was always moving and probably doing those movements without actually realizing. But you know, in terms of actually doing press ups and sit ups and stuff like that, probably never. Not before going to the gym anyway.
I can't say even it's funny. It's like, it's just fact that everyone who's gained strength ridiculously quick has just insane fitness background. And people just try to kind of argue it. Oh, you can't do too much cardio, you can't do this, and it's going to impact your strengths. And everyone I've ever spoke to who has ridiculous strength levels have done similar stuff to you. They spend years and years and years of conditioning their body. And then when they went into gym 2-3 months, they're like, oh, fuck, I'm 10 times stronger than anyone else.
Yes, I'm actually strong.
Your ability to recover was 10 times better than everyone else's because they still had to train up that capacity to recover, capacity to build muscle, all those kind of things that you already had. You probably had 8-10 years of training on you above everyone else. And people kind of ignore that size. They think, oh, I went into gym, You went into 15, 14, 16, whatever, but you already had that base laid out that, you know what, you're going to progress 10 times faster than anyone else. So I had similar stuff. If you listen to interview with Andy Bolton, he had the same exact things, like Ash, Harvey, people I have spoke to, Lee. They all had very like strict progression into strengths. They were extremely active. They did a lot of conditioning without even them realizing that they did that. And only when you start speaking to people who are really strong, they're like, oh shit, you're right. I spent 7, 8, 10 years doing stuff, just being physically active, building my fitness up without knowing that. And when I started lifting, my strength just went through the roof. And this is like one of my approaches when I coach someone is, let's get your conditioning up. And they just look like, I just want to get strong. Yeah, this is how you get strong. Because
yeah, but the stronger your vascular system is, the fitter you are, the stronger you're going to get overall.
Yeah, because you can train more frequently. This is what people don't realize. You get strong by repeating movements over and over and over again, not by lifting big weights, but by repetitively kind of reteaching your body how to lift certain things in certain manner as efficiently as you can. And if you can only do it once a week, you're not giving yourself a fighting chance. Like you said yourself, you were doing rugby, kickboxing, this and that, because you could do that physically. You could recover for that. Someone who has never done any conditioning, as they go in once a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, oh, I'm overtraining. No, you're just not fit enough. Just deal with it.
When I started doing my fighting properly, bro, I was waking up every morning 5 o'clock, whether it was snowing, whether it was raining, whether there was a tornado, whether I didn't care. I woke up and the first thing I did, I used to do like a 2-3 kilometer runs, and then I'd finish off with like 5 to 10 sprints. That was literally my religion. That was my daily thing. There was no day that I'd miss that. And straight after that, I'd go home, I'd eat and get ready for the day. I'd come home, I'd go to the gym, do my lifting, do my practice, go to do my boxing, go see my coach, do all my boxing, my fighting stuff, and then probably do a bit of rest and recovery, So I was literally non-stop. Conditioning was like, had to be on point, because it just, with the MMA especially, you know how much it takes out of you, especially when you do things like grappling and stuff like that. It takes a lot of it. So I wanted to be so fit, I wanted to challenge everyone, fit, being conditioned is hugely important. I wish I could do that right now, because I want to get a lot fitter, because I feel like I've been slacking with it. Because ever since, when I started strongman, bro, a couple of years ago,
slacking on your stupid walks.
Yeah, stupid. Yeah, stupid walks. When I started strongman a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago or so, I feel like there was so much misinformation out there. I feel like there wasn't as much access as you have right now to information. But the first thing I remember when I started strongman, I was like, oh yeah. I remember watching stuff of Eddie Hall, and oh yes, so I have to eat 10,000 calories of fucking pizza and ice cream and shit like that, and get big as fuck, and that's just going to get me strong, and that's going to get me to world's strongest man, and I don't need to do any cardio, just practice strength. And yeah, that's what I was doing until I found a coach. And obviously I started working alongside you, and I started working with Laws, and that's when I realized, actually, hang on, this is bullshit. This is completely wrong. You don't have to eat 10,000 calories of shit to be strong. You don't have to not do cardio. You don't have, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and even now, I feel like there's a lot of people who just look at all the bad stuff. They get misinformed by people like Thor, people like Eddie, who they need to eat 10,000 calories. But for example, someone who's...
Yeah, because they 200 kilo body weight.
Yeah, exactly. But someone who's, I don't know, 87 kilos and 160 centimeters tall, what's the point in them eating 10,000 calories? They're just going to get fat as fuck.
Yeah, they physically can do it. They do it for a day, for 2, and then they go like, oh, this is not for me. My genetics are just not good. No, it's just
exactly that.
Rushing it.
Exactly that.
Favorite topic for everyone. Let's smash some training. I'm like, yeah, you're going to have massive increase in strength and whatnot. Use it more than 6 weeks. You're going to go mental. use it longer than that, you're going to snap something because it's deprives you of your ability to understand when too much is too much. And that's why so many people kind of appear, they're extremely strong, they get injured, then disappear.
You never see them again. You know, I have a good friend of mine. He was the same sort of guy. He's proper Eddie Hall fan, you know, really diehard Eddie Hall fan. And, you know, he's like, oh, I need to do this and I need to, you know, it got to the point, bro, where he was smashing 1 gram of test and 1 gram of tren a week. You understand what that's a fucking, you know, it's a bomb waiting to explode. That's a fucking ticking time bomb for something bad to fucking happen, you know. And now he doesn't compete anymore. He's depressed. He's in a really bad space. And
I was about to say that's one-way road to anxiety, depression, erectile dysfunction, and many more things.
Bro, you know, it wasn't just that, because, you know, he started off with injuries because there was no time off cycle for him. It was just constantly trend test. There was no time off cycle. And when he realized that he's actually, you know, he's in trouble now, he was a bit too late, because the problem is it wasn't just the testing trend. There was other things, you know, it was a lot of this and a lot of alcohol and a lot of other shit.
Usual stuff. When
you combine all those things together, something's going to happen. And, you know, for him, it started, unfortunately, with depression and stuff like that. And he went through suicide and all sorts. And it's nasty, but this is what I'm saying. There's too much misinformation out there, and people will pick it up, and people will try, and people will hurt themselves, you know.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of my reasons is, if you're not bothered about health, I'm not going to work with anyone. Like,
this is the big change that I felt when I started working with you. The fact that health was first, like there was no other way around it. Like, I worked with nutritionists before, and I worked with other coaches before. I worked with Loz, and nobody was on about, oh, do blood tests, or, you know, check your blood pressure, or check your heart rate variability, check your resting heart rate. Never checked any of these things. Not because I didn't really think about it, but mostly because nobody really told me to, that I have to check these things, you know?
Yeah, I think only last few years it's kind of changing slowly in the UK. UK, for whatever reason, is a bit behind in the health aspect. But I think it's changing for better, 100%. And it's only going to get better as things go on, because people see that you can't be that one-hit wonder. It's just one-way ticket to disaster, you know, and people actually start to kind of believe, like, right, I need to compete, but I need to take it at my own pace and be like, for example, Thor is a great example. He was at high kind of top, but you could tell that he was pushing, but he wasn't pushing like at all costs. And it got to a point where he was literally, if he was to compete now, he would be untouchable.
Yeah, sure.
You could see he won 4 times England's strongest man. He won World's strongest man. He won Arnold Classic. But he got to a point where we literally, like, if he shows up, who's coming second? And that's about it. You know, but it took years.
Yeah. It's very true.
That he's progressing so small amount. He could have pushed it much harder and win World's Strongest Man probably a few years before he did that. But then his 501 kilo deadlift, it just looked like a warm-up. Like, what on earth?
It looked, oh my God. You know, I remember watching that and I was just like, I don't know, it's just insane. Because, you know, bro, when they're at that kind of weight, whether you increase, you know, say you're doing 500 kilos, you know, I remember, so when Eddie done the 500 kilos, you know, people were talking, he easily had 550 in him or 5 this. And I'm like, you don't realize that at that weight, even half a gram, 1 kilo is going to make a huge difference. Going to make a huge difference. You know,
psychologically, physically,
psychologically. But
like,
when Thor did the 501, it was just, I don't know. It was just insane. I was just speechless. I didn't really know what to say for a long time because he just looked so good. And he literally, I don't know whether this was to fire shots at Eddie or not, but I just remember the next day he went into boxing training. I was like,
that's the best part. You just lifted half a ton and 1 kilo. No one else has done it. And then you go and do some conditioning in the morning. You're like, what?
Yeah. What kind of genetic freak is this?
Yeah, but I know like he has worked on his conditioning for like very long time.
Yeah.
So, but he comes from basketball background and all that kind of thing. Uh, and that's the thing. Now you see guys winning in strongman who are actually fitter than others. You
Yeah,
know,
sure.
look on just this past World's Strongest Man, well, Tom won. His conditioning must be insane to do those stones at that speed. It's just
Oh, it's just insane.
out of this world.
He's, you know, yeah, he's just insane. And I've met Tom a few times, and both him and Luke are just amazing humans, man. They're really lovely guys who, and their training is, you know, is amazing. And it's nice to see Luke, you know, pushing Tom towards the top. And they're both really nice guys. But yeah, Tom's was unbelievable. And it's in my eyes, it was always going to be Tom versus Brian in the stone off.
Yeah.
But I think right now Tom's probably untouchable at stones.
Yeah.
Like nobody's going to beat him in stones.
Yeah, and it looks like he might dominate for a few years now with his mindset, because he's very smart and he doesn't compete every single show as well. So,
but this is it, bro. We was talking about this earlier with this log and deadlift championship. You know, I feel like people, and in fact, a lot of, you know, more up and coming athletes as well, should be more selective with what comms they do. You know, because there's no point, you know, doing local comms and stuff like that, because this, you know, they're not going to take you anywhere. You know, yes, it's good when you're a novice and you do, you know, you're a novice and you want to get a practice in. Absolutely, man, get those comps in. You know, practice. But once you get to a good strength level, I feel like you should be really selective. For example, I do like a qualifier, like a Southern qualifier, or do the official strongman qualifiers. Do a comp that will put your name out there. Do a comp that will, you know, challenge you. And don't do a comp that you just think, oh yeah, I'm going to go to that comp and breeze it and smash it. No, what's the point in that? Go challenge yourself.
what you're saying is approach it as basic as possible and periodize your training for comp.
Yeah, sure.
Instead of trying to compete every couple of weeks.
No point.
So that being said, what is your next goal? When are you going to compete again? What's your kind of short-term goal, long-term goal? Where are you going now?
Okay, so I was supposed to do the log and deadlift championships, but you know, unfortunately, I had to pull out because, well, not unfortunately, I had to pull out because I got invited to a Strongman Champions League on 5th of September, which I'm really, really, really excited for because it's going to be on home turf. You know, I'll be competing in front of my family, in front of my people, in front of my fans, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm really hungry for that, man. I'm hungry and I'm pushing training and I'm getting stronger and stronger every week. So that's the main thing that's happening right now. I mean, obviously, long-term goal, you know, I'd be lying if I tell you that I wouldn't want to win World's Strongest Man, I'll be lying. Of course, that's the goal. You know, you want to get to World's Strongest Man and make the final. That is the ultimate goal, which, you know, I'm working towards every fucking day. You know, I know you're telling me off all the time, but I'm getting better and better and better. So,
thing is, you're 24, and for strength athletes, peak is around 32, 35.
Yeah, sure.
So you got another 10 years to get ridiculous.
You know, I'd like to. Another one of my long-term goals is to challenge for that log press world record. At the moment, I'm the current Romanian log press record holder, which is 181 kilograms. I'm hoping to push that later in the year and chase that 200. Let's see what happens. I'm feeling pretty strong at the moment. Log feels great. But with Strongman Champions League in mind, I'm trying to build all-around strength and kind of have no weakness, you know, be consistent overall.
So with all this, what has been the main struggle to being consistent? Because let's be honest, strongman sport is not forgiving, not on your body, not financially, nothing else. You need to have a specific gym. Very few places have the equipment. It's definitely financially not viable at all. Like you make no money at all. So why are you still driven to do that? And
I think
have there been like issues where you thought, you know what, I need to pack this in. It just doesn't give me satisfaction at all.
You know what, bro? I encounter, you know, doubts probably every day. You know, every day I doubt myself. You know, and I don't know why and why I keep going, but I doubt myself every day. Like, you know, maybe I'm not strong enough. Maybe I'm not tall enough. You know, maybe, I don't know, whatever. But I love it, man. And like I said to you, I don't want to be another person who just tried to do it. I don't want to be known for just trying to do it. I want to fucking do it. And if I fail, then so be it. You know, I can turn around and say, well, fuck it. I gave it my all. I fucking gave it all I got. I didn't fucking make it. It is what it is. Shit happens. But I don't want to be another one of those guys who could have done it, but didn't do it. You know, more than that, like I said to you earlier, I don't want to just be another member of society, just another average person, just, you know, being born, going to school, going to work and dying, you know. I want to be remembered for something, man. I want to do something with myself. I want my family to be proud of me. You know, I want my parents to be proud of me. I want to be remembered for something great, you know, and that's what keeps me going. Building a legacy. That's the shit that keeps me going. And when I encounter those struggles, I think about the long-term goal, you know, and about building that legacy and about becoming something great. You know, sometimes like I envision it, you know, and it's almost like I can touch it, you know, and I think that's what keeps me going every day. That's what keeps me going every day. Thinking about my mum, thinking about my dad, you know, that's my motivation, like, to make them proud and make my people proud and, yeah, make myself proud ultimately.
That's what I think most people miss out on. Whatever they do, they don't have that emotion. Like, you know, I don't work with people who just want to lose weight, but I used to have people coming over. Oh, I want to look good for holiday, and I'm like, do you really want to look good for holiday, or do you want to go on a holiday, look amazing in front of your friends, feel proud of what you achieved, maybe attract somebody, or this and that? They just look on this six pack as a six pack, whereas I see that as million other things like you just described. I want to do it for this, for that, for that. And then if you think like that, you straight away, you see outcome, you see the end goal. You don't see any issues with it. Whereas if people come in and say, oh, I would like to lose some weight, then first thing what they think about is, oh, I need to eat less. Oh, I need to do,
Oh, I need to diet.
oh, I need to do this. Oh, fuck this, all these things. They don't see the end result full with those good emotions, what you just described. They just see end result and then a lot of misery to get to that end result. And then they think, oh, it's Friday, I need to refeed myself. And I'm like, oh God, you're just doing it for wrong reasons. So,
yeah.
But that's a,
You know, I think, you know, going back to what you said, one of the biggest struggles that I've been dealing with, man, is, you know, is the mental health side of things. And I've been struggling with mental health for a long time, but, you know, I've been getting better and better and better. And I think that's where some of those doubts come from, you know, but that's it really, man. Apart from that, you know, when I feel bad, you know, I do some meditation, you know, some of that Wim Hof stuff that we talked about. Do a lot of breathing techniques, go on stupid walks, and always envisioning the ultimate goal, man. Always envisioning why I started. Always envisioning why I'm doing this. You know, why I keep going. You know, what's to come. You know, what will this bring me? You know, and a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, I'm doing strongman because of money. If you're doing strongman because of money, you get the fuck out now, because there's no money to be made. Not in strongman. Unless you're, you know, say you're, for instance, say you're someone like Tom Starkman, or say you're someone like Thor, who, you know, you're winning shows all the time. You know, you got a lot of sponsors coming in, and, you know, you got good YouTube. Loz, for example, he makes a lot of money, you know, from YouTube stuff, and he's doing it. Yeah, he's doing an amazing work, Loz. He's doing amazing work out there, Loz. But like I said, there's only a few guys who actually make decent money from strongman. You know,
yeah, because
it's not that many. It's not that many guys who make a lot of money from strongman. And like I said, if you're in strongman to make money, then get out now, because there's no money in strongman. And this is what I was gonna say, man. I'm not in it for the money. I don't give a shit. I'll probably lose more money than I win.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there is massive disconnect between being a strongman and being an athlete as a strongman, which I perceive is you actually need an agent. You actually need someone to bring you up, to make you marketable, to make you valuable, for someone to even give you something for free. You know, I have spoken to so many like strongmen, and they live from wages to wages, and they're barely surviving on this and this and that. And I see so much potential in them, but they just don't have that character in them. Whereas like Thor is just, as soon as he did those movies, you know, Game of Thrones and whatnot, of course he's gonna get million sponsorships.
100%.
Eddie Hall just chat shit all the time. People love that, you know.
People love that shit. People love that.
It's like Loz. He adds so much value every time any comp is on. He's doing these live videos now, and he's doing like recaps, and no one else does it. You know,
bro, Loz is a very smart man. He's very smart. He thinks about everything he does. You know, before he does something, he always sits down and thinks about it. And he helped me a lot, man. And you know, like you said, some strong man, you know, need that kind of person to kind of take him on to the next level. I feel like for me, Loz took me to the next level, because if it wasn't for Loz, I probably wouldn't have a lot of the opportunities that I had, you know. And I mean, I'm in a quite fortunate positions, because I started working with a few sponsors, because you know they spotted me, and you know, probably they saw something in me. You know, they saw something in me, and they decided to work with me. So I'm quite fortunate in that, you know, in that perspective. But strongman's not an easy sport. It's not easy for your health. It's not easy for your body. It's not easy financially. You know, it takes a huge toll on you. But again, because I'm so passionate about it, and I'm so passionate about wanting to do good in it, I don't think about these things, you know, like if I have like £10 left in my bank account, which is not the case, but say if I had £10 left in my account and I had to buy, I don't know, my mum would tell me to go buy bread and butter and milk, but I needed something for strongman, I'd probably go buy something for strongman.
Sniffing salt.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yes. Trenbolone.
No, but that's the thing. It's like if you love something, you'll always find solution. And let's be honest, if you were a normal person, you would blow that kind of money every weekend just going out.
Bro, you know, like I said to you earlier, a lot of people work Monday to Friday to go out and blow their whole salaries on going to the pub and getting smashed. You know, that's their problem. That's their choice. I choose to blow my money on strongman and blow my money on myself and become something great, do something with myself, you know?
Yeah, everyone, we all, whatever we do, we try to chase emotion and change the way we feel and whatnot. Most of the people do it in a weird ways that, for example, I stopped drinking when I was like, 21, 23, because I was always around older guys and whatnot. And at one day I just sat down, I looked at them and I thought, am I going to be that in 10 years? I'm like, I'm out of here. Like, I just don't want to be around these people anymore. So, and it's kind of, let's just say, lonely and whatnot, you know, but if you stay consistent, you kind of drive yourself away with that. But I would say useless influence, because it doesn't get you anywhere. You will end up with people, like you said, like Laws, you know, people who are actually helping you to get where you actually want to be, instead of just being accepted by a group that you don't even value, but just feel like you belong there.
You just feel accepted. But
you end up with people who are actually, you look up to, you want to be like them, you want to make them proud, you know. I bet you didn't ever want to make your mates that you were going out in a piss to make proud how pissed you can get. You know, whereas
you know, bro, I'm in a bit of a similar situation to you. You know, I always used to hang around with older people. I don't know why. It was just, I suppose, I don't know. I just always hang around with older people because I thought it was cool. Yeah. And it got to the point where I was just seeing them get smashed every weekend, do a lot of drugs, you know, being chased by the police and getting in trouble and ending up in jail. I had a lot of friends who ended up in jail, and I was like, man, I don't want to be like this. No, this is not for me. And I was done, you know, because I don't drink either. I drink on very rare occasions, you know, like say like my birthday or like my graduation, or, you know, even then I don't really drink, you know, have a little bit of drink.
I wonder if you find it similar because you're so big now. Is it much harder to get drunk?
I don't really know, man. I'm a fucking lightweight, so I don't really know. I don't really know. But to be fair, I don't know. I drink a lot. If I was to drink, I would drink a lot because I got those fucking Romanian genetics. I might probably be some sort of fucking Russian as well because I fucking drink like a dick when I actually start drinking.
Yeah, because I find it, last time I tried to get drunk, I just couldn't. Like, all my friends from here were on the floor, literally couldn't speak, and I'm like, God, you're boring.
You lot are boring. You need to learn to drink.
You haven't even warmed up. What's wrong with you? So, No, it's cool. Like it's just seeing pretty much similar pattern with everyone. You know, it's always uh with people like yourself who are like that strong, that committed. It's always something that they had in the background as a fitness related stuff, and then trying to get better, then getting in some kind of like you know, kind of wall holding you back. You know, like you said, coming over and also feeling bullied and whatnot. So that's like your wall, and you break through it by doing something to evolve, kind of. And then you change, like literally. You don't change just physically. You end up just mentally changing a completely different person, and then you kind
I
of
just think I think going through the hardships that I've been through ultimately changed me into the person I am today. You know, they
Mm.
definitely changed my mentality. They definitely matured me up very fast. Bro, like I was so mature for my age. You know, like I was doing so much shit that all the other kids in my school they wouldn't even do it because they were so childish and their parents would never let them do those things. You know, but I just didn't really have a choice. I had to mature. You know, because like I said, I didn't have a choice. But those hardships and those situations, you know, made me so driven. You know, made me not want to be that person. I didn't want to be fucking bullied. I didn't want to feel fucking sad and upset. You know, I was so driven to just be better and better and better. And I think this is where this kind of like winning mentality comes from. Like I always want to do well, and I hate fucking losing. I'm the biggest sore loser ever. Like I hate losing, bro. I was in Romania and we were playing. You know, we was like ping pong. You know, and I got fucking beaten. But it was just a friendly match. It was just having a drink, but I got beaten, and I got so pissed. I got so pissed off that I lost that game that I went out, yeah, and for the next couple of weeks I was practicing every day. I was practicing fucking ping pong every day, just to go the following weekend to this guy, just to say, just to beat him, you know, just to fucking beat him. And I did beat him, and it was the fucking best feeling in the world. Like I absolutely hate losing.
Yeah. Well, that's it's kind of good trait to have.
Oh
So
man,
when are we gonna see you first? Is it gonna be 5th of September then? Your first comp?
5th of September, back first comp after. So I was at Europe Strongest Man, and then I got injured. So first comp back post injury is 5th of September.
What's after that? Anything else this year at all?
Nothing planned yet.
Right,
We'll
cool.
see how that goes. I got a few things in mind, but nothing precise at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see.
So what would you suggest?
I think the reason being why I can't plan everything because this bloody COVID situation just
Yeah.
doesn't go away.
Yeah. What would be your 3 pieces of advice for someone who wants to start in a strongman? What would you say to somebody? You know, someone young comes in a gym and like, I want to be strongest in the world. What do you tell them?
Bro, first of all, I tell them to get coach. I don't want I wish I had a coach the first time I started because I made so many mistakes of, you know, doing silly shit that I shouldn't have been doing, and it probably held me back rather than actually making me stronger. So first piece of advice, I'd definitely tell them to get a coach. Second piece of advice, I'd probably tell them to get their main strength, you know, build up their squats, bench, deadlift, and overhead, because they're so key. Everybody wants to overcomplicate things, and when they could just get really strong as fuck by doing the basic compound movements, you know, they don't need to do no fancy shit. They, you know, just start with basic movements. And third of all, bro, I'd definitely say focus on nutrition and recovery, because they're the other two things that are going to, you know, get you strong as fuck overall.
Yeah, go on your stupid walks.
Remember your stupid walks. And if you really want to get strong as fuck, get yourself a Bobek.
You never said who is Bobek. Can you just tell everyone who is Bobek?
Bobek is the guy that fucking bullies me on Instagram. You know, Bobek is a hedgehog. In fact, he's an African species of a hedgehog who fucking bullies me on Instagram and always tells me that I'm not strong enough. You know, so that's Bobek for you guys. You'll get to, if you want to meet him, follow him on Instagram or follow my page, and you'll meet Bobek.
That was another thing. So where people can find you? Do you do anything related with coaching or anything like that? Or
I don't want to do anything with coaching at the moment, bro, because I solely want to focus on myself right now.
Yeah.
I want to be the
How
best
can
I can
people
be.
find you? Is it Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Alex Lungu, or you can find me on Instagram at Alex Lungu 96 strong. You'll find me on Instagram, find me on there. I'm easy to find. I'm not. You can't miss me. But yeah, in terms of coaching, you know, maybe once I stop, you know, doing strongman and stuff like that, I'll probably get into coaching. At the moment, I feel like I'm not experienced enough to do coaching. Not in terms of strongman, but I feel like I'm not experienced enough in terms of like proper education, you know, proper education in it, you know. So I can't. I'm the sort of person that if I start coaching, I want to be 100% committed to my clients, you know.
Yeah.
But for the time being, I'm not going to do any coaching.
Yeah, I think you're in great place of being able to just do what you do, because a lot of people, they do stuff and then they think, if I do this, I would be great at teaching that as well. And they don't understand you need to be a completely different person. And if you're actually going from athlete into coach, it often takes pleasure of training away, you know, and people kind of,
sure.
the brightest example I could tell you is, imagine someone is baking a cake and they think, I'm going to open a cake shop. And then they need to run a shop, run all the accounts, run this, deliveries, this. They don't have time to bake a cake anymore. They don't have time to do what they actually enjoy. And that shop just go bankrupt. And then they just go into something else. Because they didn't realize the difference between doing something and being like a business kind of person. Because to be a coach, you need to do so many other things apart from just programming. You need to be good with people talking, you need to be good with organizing and accounts, all that kind of stuff that comes in, and people just get overwhelmed and they just like, why the hell did I even start this?
This is what I'm saying, bro. I feel like once, you know, I'm done with strongman and I'm done with training, I mean, I'll always be training, but you know what I mean? Like once I take it down a notch, I'll probably start doing some coaching, or, you know, I'll start helping people and focus on other things, and, you know, start focusing more on business rather than competing. But until then, like you said, you know, if I start coaching right now, I'd have to be fully committed with those clients.
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't have the time because I'm fully focused on myself. And I don't want to be just another coach where I'm just a shit coach and I don't speak to people, or I don't do their training plans properly, and I don't have enough time to commit myself for them. You know, it's no point me doing it. I want to be myself. I want to be 100% committed to help those guys. But at the moment, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, right. I'm going to wrap that up because we can talk for hours. It's quite interesting.
Listen, I can speak to you forever.
I know. No, appreciate you for finding time for this. And I'm going to slap this on YouTube soon, make some notes where people can find you and whatnot. And it's going to be interesting. So it's July now, August, September, not long now. So peaking you up to strengths, 130 kilos of fucking pure machine.
Fucking Terminator, or even better, Lungunator.
Right. Thanks for that. And I shall speak to you soon.
Thank you for having me.